Hey guys, it's Michelle here again with another probably pretty quick tutorial. We'll see how long it takes because, to be honest, I haven't actually really planned this one out. So we're going to do this one together. So there's lots of places to buy designs on the internet. So far, the two, if this is number 3 in the series, the 2 I've made so far are my own. This one here, I did buy from somebody, but they're totally, you can edit them in any way you want. So that's kind of what I'm showing you today, is if you did buy some t-shirts, designs, and you can edit them, there's just lots of things that you can do. So let's edit this one. Like I said, I didn't really plan this out, so let's just go for it. Okay, so what I want to make this say is, this guy loves his wife, and then underneath we're going to put, yes, my wife bought this for me. Okay, so we're probably going to have to make our canvas a little bit bigger, and we're going to change some of the text. So let's start at the top. So we find the layer and we click on it, and it says this girl. So we're on our text tool. We're going to make sure that we're on our text tool. And then I'm just going to go ahead and highlight the text that I don't want, and I'm going to type in guy. So, but now see, it doesn't fit. But I think, so I could go Control T, hold the Shift button, and then just kind of make it fit in there. I think what I'm going to do though is maybe make the canvas bigger. Actually, I don't even know what size this canvas is, so let me see. Okay, so this is, well, okay, it's a little bit bigger than I need. Oh, and the resolution's not high enough. So I'm going to go ahead and change this to 300 right now. And then see, it did make my dimensions bigger, which they were already too big in the first place. But for right now, I'm not going to worry about that. Make sure your scale and constrain proportions, make sure all of these are checked so that everything scales proportionately. I'm only going to worry about the resolution for right now, and it needs to be at least 300, maybe 350, but we're going to do 300. And then, like I said, this is too big for me, but I'm going to worry about the resolution right now. Push OK. And then I'm going to edit it to make it say what I want, and then we'll go back and we'll fix it. So you can see it made it bigger. So I'm going to use my Alt key, hold my Alt key, and use my scrolling mouse, the roller ball, and I'm going to pull it towards me, and then that way, because then that zooms in and out. So I'm going to zoom it back out a little bit just so that I can see the whole thing. Okay, so then this guy loves, and then so we need to go to loves her, and we're going to change this to his. Hit the little check mark. Always got to check the check mark. And then we're going to go to mother. And then now wife is a much shorter word. So we're going to see, yeah, that's what I kind of thought. It doesn't look the greatest. So let's see what we can do here. Control T with the Shift key. But I'm going to let go of the Shift key just to see if I can manipulate this just a little bit. Okay. It's not the greatest, but we're going to go for it. Okay, and we don't need this on. And see, this person has other things behind. So we're just going to turn off all those layers. But because we are dealing with a white text, I'm going to go ahead and just leave the background on just so that we can see it. But we are going to want to turn this off. You just click on the little eyeball. We're going to want to turn that off before we save it as a PNG, because you don't want to print this with the black. If you print this with the black background, then your shirt has a black box around it. Now, if you were making a sticker or something and you wanted a background, then that would be perfect. So, okay, let's see if we can type this straight and see how it looks. Like I said, I didn't plan this one out, so let's just experiment. And that's pretty much what learning Photoshop is all about, is just experimenting with it. As long as you know how to use the tools, just play around with it. So let's go ahead and turn this one off. We're just going to click off on that eyeball there. And we're going to start a new one. So we're going to click on our text tool. And we're going to click in our box here. And we're going to type wife. And click the checkbox again. Control T. Hold the shift. And pull it up. I'm going to pull it out. I'm not holding the shift key because I am stretching it. Sometimes it's okay. So then we can decide, well, do we like that better? Or do we like that better? You know, or we go up here and we go to lower arc, but you have all these different options, but in this particular case we're going to do a lower arc. And then see, we can bend it. So let's go ahead and just type it out. And then, okay, so since we've got 3 different wife layers here, what I'm going to do is double click on this right here. And we're going to do wife, lower, I've got my cap locks on, sorry, lower arc. And then we're going to click on this one, and I'm going to write straight. And then on this one, I'm going to write, whoops, that's what happens if you don't click in the right spot. I'm going to just write original, just so I know. So then that way, if you do have a bunch of layers, especially if you get into layers that have the exact same thing, like if you had each of these hands in a layer, you might want to label one left hand, right hand, just so that you know and you can easily find it. Okay, so let's go here. So let's type this out. We type this out, and then let's go lower arc. Okay, I think we need to make it a little bit bigger before we go and alter the. Okay, not using the shift key right now, just gonna pull this out a little bit. This particular font is pretty forgiving, but usually you want to use the shift key to keep it proportional. Okay. Okay, so right here, I double clicked on this icon up here, and it made this come up because I believe I can edit each one of these. But so now here's the bend. So 50, I can go 60, 70. Let's just do like 150, okay, so see, it didn't I like to do large numbers so that I can see the difference and then kind of narrow it in. So let's just do like 20. Okay, and then, you know, we can see, we can change. See, you can change it. See? Okay, so how I got there was I double clicked on this little arrow, or this little box here, double clicked on that, then went back up to here to this little T, and then see, I can make it go that way too. So see, we can just get it however we want it, and then it can go, you know, it can go like that, it can go like that. Okay, so let's leave that at 0. And then you just play with it. You know? You just play with it and see what it is you like. And get it to where you want it. So then you're like, well, that doesn't look very good. And you're like, well, do you want it like that? You know, do you want it like that? I think this one ended up not being straight anymore. Is that... Oh, there we go. I don't know how that one got bent. But, so you can just kind of play around with it. Get it the way you want it. Okay? So, and then, so let's just decide on this one here. And we just want to get these out of our way because we don't really want to be bothered with them. So we're just going to click on it and then click the delete. And then click on this one, delete. And then they're gone. Okay, and then if we wanted to see what this is, and I think it's the hands, we just turn it off, turn it back on. Okay? So now let's write, yes, my wife bought me this shirt. Okay, and I don't necessarily want to put it in that font. So, and I'm not 100% sure I did the upper and lowercase correctly because this font's kind of weird, but we'll see. So click on this layer, click on the text tool, and then your different fonts come up. And if you just kind of click in there, you can use your arrow keys and then just go through and look at all the different fonts. If that's how you want to do it. If you know what font you want to use, you know, then just go for it. But if you don't, you know, this is a good way to see what the fonts look like in the words that you typed out. And see, I didn't uppercase the M in the me, so we'll have to go back and fix that. So let's see. We'll just leave it there, just be for time constraints, because I don't want to have you sit here and go through my 800 fonts. Okay, now, to make sure that everything is centered, you take whatever it is that you want to center. I think I'm going to go ahead and leave the hands out of it. So I'm just going to click these layers here. So I can click the top layer and click shift and click the bottom one. Oh, okay, there. It was just slow. And it'll select all of them. But let's say I didn't want to do that. Let's say I only wanted this one, and this one. Well, if I was on this one and I hit the shift key and I click this one, it's going to get all three of those. So if you wanted this one and this one, you would push the control key, and then it only selects the ones you click. So again, if I wanted this top one and all four of these, I would hit the shift key and click the bottom. So I'd click the top and the bottom holding the shift key. If I wanted this top one and then this middle one here, I would hit the control key, and then that's how I would select them. Okay, but in our case, we want all four of them. Okay, then we go up to these little boxes up here, and we pick whichever one that we want to do. The one we want to do is, see if I can get the words to come up. There we go. Align horizontal centers. So we're going to click that. There. Now that made everything center, all these four layers center to each other. Because I think I showed you on the first video how to make a new guide, and you type in 50%, and then that would be your middle, and look at that, the eyes right in the middle. So you can see everything's in the middle. And then you could inch your design left or right, you know, you could do that. But if you have something like this, that's the best way to do it. So we're just going to go to window and turn off the extras, and then that way we won't see that anymore. So then before we save it, we're going to turn this off. And again, I'll go over the saving process again. We're going to do a save as. I probably, well, okay, so you're going to do a Photoshop, you're going to do a PSD. You're going to save a couple different ways. You're going to do a Photoshop, you're going to do a PSD. And you're going to do the PSD so that you can come in here and you can do exactly what we just did. We can change this to this guy loves his sister. You know, yes, my sister bought me this shirt. We can change it, you know, we can change it to whatever we want. Okay, so something really quick. Let's say I want to go back to wife. I'm going to go Control Alt Z, and then that takes me back to where I was. And I can keep hitting that, and it'll keep going back. I don't know exactly how many, 10 maybe? It'll go back like 10 steps. But you can go, you can do it here too if you wanted. But see, it's Alt Control Z. And then if you wanted to go forward, so say, no, I do want to make it sister. I can go forward by hitting, well, I can't go forward anymore because there is no more, but Shift Control Z. So Alt Control Z if you make a mistake, and then Shift Control Z to go back, or to go forward, I should say, if that's what you wanted. So that's a little trick there. So you want to save it as a PSD so that you can come in and you can change this. You can come in and change the color of this font. Okay, you can do that. You can come in here, add a stroke. There's a black background, so we're not going to see that stroke, but we can add this color here. So you can add a stroke if you wanted. Okay, So that's why you want to save a PSD, because then you can make this say whatever you want. Okay? And so that's why you want to save it as a PSD, so that you can come in and edit it. So then you want to do a file save as, you want to do a PNG. But we forgot to turn off the background. So you want to turn off the background first. Okay, so let's see how far this will go back. Control-Alt-Z takes off the stroke, turns those, and turned everything white. So it went back at least that far. I think it goes back 10, I think. But anyway, so turn off this back layer, then do a save as, and then you want to save it as a PNG, and that's so that it will have the clear background. Let me see here. Going to name this girl custom. Okay. Oh, actually, I would want to save that as a PSD. So let's try this again. Custom. Okay, so then that way I can go in and edit and make it say whatever I want, because like I had a customer, and her name was Tracy, and she is going to have these, all the guys wear these at her birthday party. I won't tell you how old. And she's going to have all the guys wear this at her birthday party. So, and it says this guy loves his Tracy. So that's what she wanted for her birthday. So see, then I can come in here and change that anytime I want. And then this particular design, I would save as a PNG, because that's the design that's going to go on the shirt. Then, if I needed to send this to her for her approval, I would go to File, Save As, and I would save it as a JPEG. And I would add the background to it so she can see it. Now, I probably would make it a little bit smaller for the JPEG, just because if you're going to email it or text it or whatever, it probably needs to be a little bit smaller. But I forgot, that's right, we need to go in and fix this because it wasn't the right image to begin with in the first place. So let's go back here. Oh, just turn that back on. And we're going to turn this off. And we're going to go to image. We're going to go to image size. And the most I can have it is 32, so we're going to do 31. But see, now this is a little, okay, let's do this one at 31. Okay, so then push OK. And then Alt and roll the ball. I'll turn this back on just so we can see it. So then now it's the size I want it. So now I would save it. So I think that's it, guys. So if you get some designs off the internet, buy some designs and you can edit them. That's just how you edit them. It's super, super easy. And I think that's it for today. I hope you guys have a great day.